Intros are a thing, are they not? Then they're not a thing. Never been a fan of them, but I need to work on that. Get something groovy going to help us all get enthused and excited. Well, welcome to the big board. It's the Christmas edition, I guess. It's the Solo Rollo Christmas edition, and you can. Unfortunately, we have some glare from the lighting, so you're just gonna have to bear with me. I hope everyone is doing fine. I'm gonna bring up the comments so I can see. Greg, good to see you. Thanks for joining in. I've got my nephew's in the Navy, and he is one of the company commanders, 1st Company, 1st Battalion at the Naval Academy. And so they had a special hat for the Army-Navy game, and he gave me one a couple of days ago when he was in town. So I'm gonna wear the pride of the Navy. So all you Army guys and Marines, just relax. It's okay. I'm not selling out just yet. All right. So what I wanted to do was, first of all, catch up and see what's going on. Mo, what is going on? And Greg, good to see you. And we've got some other folks joining in. So quick catch up. It's been a while since I've done solo. When I say solo, just independent content on my YouTube channel. I've generally been doing the live stuff with Mo and Nate on the Whiskey Charlie channel. So it's good to be back here doing something, A, for myself, and B, just between you and I. So I wanted to catch up on content because there's been very little of it, mainly just photographs posted on Facebook of some gameplay and bits and pieces like that. Not a lot of blog articles. My YouTube channel also probably hasn't had a new video posted other than the Black Horse video, I think, for 2 or 3 weeks. So it's just been super busy time and complex time, and it's the right word for it. I don't know. No, it's not stressful because I don't really get super stressed out about stuff, but just a lot of moving parts. So I'm looking forward to the new year when sometime, I'm just looking over at the house, I can see it from here. At some point, we'll be moving into our house in January, hopefully, or maybe early February. We'll see. So we just got a text this morning from our septic people that said, absolutely going to be there on Wednesday with the county to get the plan for the septic system approved, because we had to change the plan. Our prior septic company had a certificate approved for 4 months, but they were busy. They didn't have time to put septic in for me. Who knew that it was so busy out here? So we fired those guys, and we're now using these guys who can get it done starting, sometime in January after we get this contract, this permit approved. So I'm super excited about that. Looks like everyone is jumping in here. Good to see you, Pete, and I said hello to Greg already, and Ty, Merry Christmas. So I'm hoping that we can move in. We're going to do a lot of the moving in ourselves, but we have a 40 by 20 foot storage unit with junk, i.e. games, books, furnishings, and we need to move all the furnishings out of this place up to the house and then bring the furnishings from the storage shed into here and shuffle stuff around fairly aggressively. So I'm not sure how that's all going to work, and that's going to take quite a bit of time. So there will be a hiatus in January when we do start that moving. But once I'm in, I've got 4 big game tables ordered. They're 6 by 36 inch tables, I think, 6 foot long by 36 inches wide, 3 feet wide, and I'm excited about getting some big stuff out. Number one, but number two, also being able to have get back to my old mode of playing, which was having multiple titles being played at the same time, because that kind of enriches my little pea brain and helps me enjoy something. But I can also just spread out a little bit here because I'm literally restricted to a poster-sized board where I can put a map on. So it's been a bit frustrating the last 12 months, but the last 4 months in particular, as more and more things kind of accumulate in the house, i.e. games, but also books and my wife's knickknacks and bullshit. And well, sorry, it's not really bullshit. It's her special items, but all her bullshit. As we start piling stuff up, where we have less and less room, and our work, both of our work lives have become more busy instead of calmer. So I'm literally sitting here at a desk with 2 laptops and 3 games and a headset and junk everywhere. And her end of the desk, what is the dining room table? Her end of the dining room table has piles of stuff, and we've had 2 deaths in the family this year. It's been an entertaining year, but I've had fun with everybody, and I've also had fun with the games that I've played in general. I would say they've been pretty entertaining. So at the moment, obviously, you've probably seen the Black Horse video. Mark Walker commented on my video about that, and I think he may not have liked it, but he appreciated the fact that I was straight up about where the opportunity was with that game system and where some of the shortcomings were with the rules. So hopefully that'll all be taken in the spirit that it's intended. And I know that there's now a second module in the works for that. So I'm super excited about that. Hopefully that'll come with all the cleaned up rules and fun stuff that we would expect in a let's call it a version, second module version 2. And yeah, Ty, dear, yeah, sorry about that, bro. Well, she's out. My wife's out. That's why I'm doing the video, because I actually have some privacy to do a live stream, and it's why I've not been doing live stream gameplay either. Is just people coming and going, and I don't have. There's no real quiet space where I can just turn the camera on and roll and play dice and do things and make things happen, right? So that's why there's been a limit to the content. But I did want to, so I wanted to catch, so we talked briefly, you can watch the video on Black Horse. I'm now deep into turn 2 on that and enjoying it thoroughly now that I've kind of got over the hump, partially thanks to Mo's play aid that he put together, which was excellent. That really helped crystallize and consolidate a lot of the, and reduce the amount of flipping backwards and forwards through the rules. Although I would almost encourage Tiny Battles Publishing to even have a second look at the counters and how the counters are formatted, just to get some consistency across. Orange attack factor should match up against a orange defensive factor. So we can just go, let's look at the 2 orange numbers, not an orange background with a white number and then a white background with an orange number. I'm like, that just messes with my head. So just let's get like even little things like that, get that consistent. That'd be awesome. So did you do Mo, did you revise that table? Don't make me print it again. Yeah, so thank you for doing that. That was awesome. So anyway, so it's that, and then the one. So I'm going to try and get 2 games in before the end of the year. One is going to be Lost Battles. So a friend sent this to me from the UK, and I just had to pay shipping on it. It's unpunched, untouched. It's got all the books and nonsense in it. Super freaking heavy. I want to get that, try and get that to the table, because I think that's something that I can have a mess around with the rules as is, and see if that system is going to be something that I can get excited about. It makes me feel a little bit, from the scheme of the rules I've had, it feels a little bit like Blade and Bow, which I just played recently, which I think is going to be a fab game system once it's sort of matured a little bit. I think it needs a little bit more work. So I want to try and get that to the table and play a short, small battle for that. And then I'm gonna do the long road. I'm going through all the scenarios in the long road. I think I'm on to number 6 or number 7 there, and I'm using that. If you're familiar, I'm using that for my. Well, I'm not using it for. I'm playing the games because I enjoy them, because they're freaking awesome. But I'm using that to do some narrative writing on my Substack. And I don't know if any of you folks here are subscribers on the Substack, but we've now got, I think, I want to say like 110 or 120 subscribers there. And actually, the people who are paying, like, you don't have to pay. Like, there's an option to pay, but don't, because you get all the same stuff. But I appreciate it if you paid. So it's actually helping defray some costs. So like this StreamYard service costs a couple $100 a year. There's some other things that I do that cost money, obviously the website and all that nonsense, which may eventually go away. I may just move it all over to the Substack because I'm tired of paying for. Anytime I want to do something, I got to buy an app for $9 a month. Like, this whole subscription service world is driving me nuts. So anyway, that was a massive sidebar. So we're doing the long road because I need my zombies and I need my tanks. I need my zombies and my tanks together. So we want to have some of that action going on. Bill Severn, good to see you. Or Seven, I should probably say, would be there depending on where you're from. Monty, Merry Christmas from Texas. What's going on? Good to see you. And Mr. Krantz. Hey, hope you're doing well. I know you're running, and I hope we get to see the new Consim World community page set up and running in the new year. I'm excited about that. I'm missing posting there. Lots of people seem to post there, but not very many people seem to engage. So it'd be nice to, hopefully the new system will help us get more engaged in the community aspect of that. You know, otherwise we're really stuck with kind of Facebook as a place. I know that there's also the bulletin board style CSW stuff, but you know, I'm not a big fan of that. I like sort of a more modern interface. Anyway, so there's that. Let's see. What I did want to do. Let me just check and make sure we haven't missed anybody here. Treb, what's up, bud? Merry Christmas. And so Merry Christmas to everybody. If I didn't already say that, maybe I did, but Mark Trowbridge and Jeff, good to see you. And Rob Frank, good to see you. All right, so lots of good folks here. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. I thought what I'd like to do is run. So I've got a couple of games I want to give away, and we'll do that in a minute. And I'm not gonna tag it out and make this painful so that you all have to hang around. But what I was going to do is go through. I'll drink some water first. Go through and have a look at the games that I played last year, but I talk about those, or this year I should say, and talk about those in terms of. Hey, Greg and Vapanabi, good to see you guys. And I don't think I said hi to Pete. Pete, good to see you. So what I like to do is sort of run through games and the systems I played and sort of offer sort of high-level quick comments on them, if it makes sense. We'll do that. But I'd also, while I'm doing that, be thinking about what you might like to see from the Big Board channel this year, this coming year, 2024. I like to change up how I present content on YouTube and how what I write about, how I write. I see in some ways, because I've been now here for 10 or 12 years or something like that. When I very first started out, it was video-based AARs, and then there was some stop motion stuff, and then there were, live play, and then there was, commentary and initial thought. I did video reviews, and then I moved to doing initial impressions. And as I've watched seen other channels, I'm starting to see some replication of some of the things that have been doing. So I'd like to change stuff up again so that it's not just me and 4 other 5, 6, whatever other channels doing the same thing. Now, I guess imitation is flattery, but I like to keep my stuff as unique as possible and fresh as possible. So if there's modes of presentation that you might be interested in, I've seen some fantastic stuff like Mo's overviews with all the cutscenes and great graphics and all that sort of stuff. I think are fantastic. That's a ton of work. With my work and my current lifestyle, those things aren't doable or possible for me. And then there's the chap that does the great BCS videos, which are just amazing, right? Also not for me, just because of time sink. So I'm trying to work out ways where I'm now just turned 60. So next 5 to 7 years, I obviously want to play as many games as possible. But then I also want to share as much content with you as I can. And so we've got a nice library of content, and hopefully it'll be relevant stuff. So I'm looking for ideas and thoughts on from everybody. Eves, good to see you. And Yoakum, good to see you. Oops, where's Eve? So we can take him off. All right. So thoughts on that would be welcome. I'm definitely going to get back to doing more live stream work. So that'll be fun. And written word stuff, I'll be doing more narrative things, but I'll also be digging in on doing some written AARs, but more review style. I'll go back to my 10 key points of a game that I think make games interesting and valuable to me. And so we'll use that as a 10-point checklist to go through, and we'll talk about gameplay and stuff like that. So I did that with Ardennes 44 and a handful of other games. I've probably only done what I would call maybe 20 or 30 real reviews, what I would call a real review versus my gameplay impressions. And I know some folks get a little frustrated with the fact that I may only play a game once or twice and then I have commentary on it, but I've played enough new systems on a regular basis that I can kind of work out whether something's for me or whether I like it or not, and what I like and why I like it. Very, very few games I've played that I've said, oh, this is complete garbage, and I'm flipping it. That doesn't happen very often. So most games have redeeming qualities. I'm the type of guy that likes to just be plain spoken and get it done, right? So anyway, let's have a look at the stuff we played this year, and let's talk through that. So I need to click present, share screen, grab the games played, pop that up. Let's get me out of the way. All right, hopefully that's readable. I wonder if I could do this. I can't really make it. Oh, yes, I can. I can make it larger here. Ooh, look at that. And click on there we go. I think that's readable. Is that readable, everybody? We have a whole bunch of Gregs. Greg Saldi just turned up. Greg Sapara is here. Greg Saldi is here. Greg Warren. I think we're at quota. Exactly. We are at quota on Greg's, and Roberto is here. Good to see you from Italy, I believe you're in, Greg. And David, good to see you. Very nice. All right. Good to see. Welcome to the 60s Club. Yeah, I'm actually feeling pretty good for 60. I haven't done push-ups for a couple of weeks, but actually more than a couple of weeks, probably nearly a month, but I'm still able to crank out 100. So as long as that is, that's my benchmark at the moment. Let's not talk about my back or how weak my legs are, but I've got strong elbows and wrists. Let's just say that. All right. So this year, it was pretty interesting for me because I touched the American Civil War quite a bit with 3 different sessions of Last Chance for Victory, one solo gameplay for myself, then a Vassal session, and then a 3-player session at a con that went over 4 days. I really like the system. I would still say it's one of my favorites. It would be massively competitive in terms of choosing a favorite. I would compare it to the Blind Swords, Black Swan system for Herman Luttman's system, right? So loved that a lot. Really enjoyed it. David Garvin, good to see you, bud. Look at you. Is that your special Christmas tie you've got going on there that you changed your profile for? I love it. All right. So love that. I found the Gettysburg Battle to be pretty frustrating. We only played, well, I guess it was the whole battle, but we started on the second day, and it's a beatdown. it's hard to stay motivated to keep playing, particularly as the Rebels. I was playing the Rebel side, so challenges there. Last Stand for Moscow. We've got 1 turn left on that scenario, and I played, and we're playing there's 2 scenarios in that game. It's set in the battle for Moscow in October, November, December. Sorry, December, January timeframe, I believe. And so it's the Soviet counterattack basically, and we're playing that scenario. And I've played that now 3 times this year, and really enjoying it. Playing the Soviets is very different than playing the Germans for sure. Highly recommend that game. We're actually talking about running that again. Running that again. Let me scroll down a little bit here. Running that again in the new year and playing the full campaign just to get after it. All right, let's see. I loved this Panzerlehr along the Saar. That was a GTS little mini module coming out of the Counter-Strike magazine. Thought that was great. Gave me a good view into GTS. Probably helped confirm that it's not going to be a go-to series for me, but it's something that I'll pick up along the way. I almost bought a copy of Bastogne on sale, but managed to restrain myself from doing that, and found it to be enlightening, this particular module to be enlightening, but also at the same time frustrating. But I had lunch with Mike Curtis a while back, up in Tennessee, and he and I potentially can get online and play, and maybe we'll use this module as something that we can run with, because he's a deep GTS fan, and he's offered to help me be less useless with that system. Obviously, Bitter Woods. I'm a huge lock and load tactical fan. Played Bitter Woods a couple of times with their Bitter Harvest. Bitter Harvest. Played that a couple of times. You know, that particular module, I like it, but I don't think the scenarios are as tuned as well and as tightly as they have been in the past. And I was a little disappointed with some of the imbalance in the game. I think Devin did best he could do there, but perhaps it's not ASL, and so the scenarios, they need to be balanced differently than the way they are in the 2 that I played anyway. I was a little underwhelmed there, which would be disappointing. Roy, good to see you. And Roy, I owe you a War Diary 24, I think it is, video, which I have not done yet, and I have a digital copy of your magazine on my desktop, glaring at me saying, why haven't you recorded anything yet? So it looks like it'll be the new year for you, my friend, unless I can do it later today and get some private time to do that. Seasons beatings, indeed. That is probably true, Mo. All right, so where we get to Long Road, I've already spoken about that. Told you that I'm super fan of that game system, and it's full theme. It's World War III with a Zombicide twist. Love it. Paranormal stuff. It's actually very, very entertaining and good times. Just finished a scenario actually where a werewolf attacks a convoy, and that was epic. Next War, Iran. That's probably a little bit of a misnomer saying I played it twice. I played the campaign version with Ralph Shelton, and then I started a solo Vassal playtest session, and I think I got through 1 turn of that and just realized that playing solo on Vassal by myself was no fun. I think if I had the counters and the map out, it'd be a different story. I'm much more tactile from that perspective, and I think Next War lends itself more to the physical gameplay than Vassal play, so didn't really enjoy that very much. Trying to play, I actually sent Ralph an email and said, "Hey man, I know I was all excited about playtesting, but I think I have to bail." And they've got plenty of playtesters anyway. All right, the Deadly Northern Lights. I ran a small scenario of that because I was using that. I was trying to get some guys excited about playing that at a con. and they all bailed. I don't know why, but what can you do? And while I've got us on Fabrizio's Thin Red Line products, I will have, I believe next week, I'll have exclusive post of the designer notes for the Fate of All that will be available. And I've been reading the rules and having a look at some other components and bits and pieces that, excuse me, that I'm not allowed to talk about yet. But I believe that everything I've read so far and my comments back, there have been no massive glaring errors that made me go, what the hell? I am digging into the tactical aspect of the game at the moment, and would probably reserve judgment on that just because I haven't got deep enough through the rule book to really comment on it. But the rest of the system has its bones built around the Under an Iron Sky system in terms of movement, disengagement, engagement. You're using movement points to do things, to enable a siege, or to intercept, or to move into combat. So it's taken this operational approach across, basically the huge swathe of the Middle East and Turkey and all of that good stuff. And so I'm super excited about exploring the campaign, Alexander's campaigns. I don't believe it's been done at all or well yet. I would say the Ancient Worlds system would be probably something that could rival it. But this will be a system that will allow you to play something equivalent to the Ancient Worlds series, but with a very different approach, particularly for combat. So I'm super excited about what they've got coming. All right. All right. So let's see. Ardennes 2. Played that as soon as I got it. There were a handful of us YouTuber knuckleheads trying to play that all at the same time. Found a bunch of little issues and errors and FAQ stuff that need to be done, and errata, and a couple of little mistakes. Kind of disappointed with the thoroughness of the development on that particular game. But the gameplay in of itself, once you knew how to use the rules correctly, was excellent. I think there was just a little frustration on my part in terms of being able to get responses that made sense, that dovetailed back into the rules. I ran through a quick scenario on Armored Group South, and nothing's changed there in the second edition. I have issues with supply and rail and stuff, so no change there. I think it's a good system, but it has its flaws as well. Battles in the East, I got to tell you, these two modules really surprised me. I'm not a big Decision Games fan because they've gone out of their way to, and I'm going to swear here, so if you're looking to protect your children's ears around Christmas and they're sitting here, you have a moment to turn the volume down for the next 5 seconds. DG has a reputation of fucking up classic games with their second editions. Now I believe that they're focusing, sort of end of rant there. Now that they're focusing on net new systems, this particular system is excellent. The gameplay is fun, and it's dynamic, and it's super engaging. Mark Walker, here's the man, the myth, the legend. How are you doing, bud? We were just talking about the long road. You must have had your ears burning, been commenting on how fabulous that is, and how I'm about to launch a new or play the 6th or 7th scenario over there, and keep writing my little goofy stories about the characters in that. So loving the long road, just running through some games that I played this year. Mark, good to see you. Everyone, go get your Mark Walker games wherever you can. Great guy. So Battles in the East, love the system. Let's just leave it at that. I believe it's expensive for what you're getting. These mounted maps and the counters and double-sided mounted maps, but worthwhile gameplay. I can't necessarily tell you that they're highly repeatable, replayable, but I think they are, because I've only played one scenario from each. And I believe that there were probably other choices I could have made in those scenario gameplays and all that sort of good stuff. So yes, we'll call that awesome as it is. Already spoken about Black Horse when I first got on. I believe this game's got lots of legs and lots of opportunity to be great. Mark has promised me that he's gonna do all the little tweaks that need to be done, and there's a second module coming. Hey, Mark, can you tell us if you're interested and still here? If maybe you can tell us what that second module might be, what part of World War III in Europe that might cover, and we'll look forward to an answer on that if you're able and willing to share at this point. Blade and Bow, played that a little bit, enjoyed it, think it's got potential, found the artwork and the counters and stuff to be all a little bit murky, you know, low DPI kind of stuff, and think it could have. I think presentation wise, I was frustrated with it. Just from a there was a very certain style that I found between the counters and the maps became a little bland. I love the maps. I was underwhelmed by the counters, and I would be interested to see something a little poppier, if I could use that term, for the counters. Gameplay was pretty good. A lot of die rolling going on. But once you kind of get the system down, it all flows pretty nicely. I think that's got significant potential, particularly given the number of battles that were in that box. So that was very, very good. Yeah, well, hey, Mo, look, he has actually said that he's going to bring out a second module. So if Mark, you're still here, what is it? That was 10:58. That was 4 minutes ago. So hopefully you're still here. Please let us know if you know where or what that next module might be. So I'm excited about that. By Iron and Blood, I only, unfortunately, we had a cat attack on that bad boy. Didn't get a deep exposure into the system there, and between the cat and having family reunite last weekend or weekend before, whenever that was, for Thanksgiving. Well, that was probably 3 weeks ago now, wasn't it? That ended up being packed up. So didn't get deep into that. So I couldn't really even say that I fully played that game. So there won't be any commentary about my impressions on that yet. Carrier Battles Philippines, you know, it's a great game. Can't say much more about it than that. It carries on the tradition from the original Carrier Battles. So I enjoyed that as a solitaire system. Combat, I need to get my campaign kicked off. And so we'll be looking at that. Let's not dally around on some of these other titles here. DAC, you all know that I love that game. What's the new stuff here that we should focus on? So, you know, C3I, that Bender's game there, it was okay. I'm not interested, really. Too abstract for me and too large a scale. Didn't really give you the feel of the conflict there at all, particularly when you know it's a completely different scale, say, than DAC or Africa 41. Now, North Africa 41, enjoyed that immensely. Fall of Tobruk, it looks like it could be a fantastic game, fantastic system, but I struggled a little bit with the rule book there, and some of the mechanics were odd to me, and I need to go back and revisit that. I kind of reserved judgment on that guy. Only played one of the shorter, played part of a scenario there. So once again, that was a space issue for me. Those maps are big and took up a lot of space. First Victories. Can't wait for that to actually hit the table again. I in fact asked David Heath if he would send me back the playtest copy that he's forwarded on to another YouTuber who has sat on it and not done anything with it yet that I'm aware of. So I'd be very keen to get that back to play again. I'd like to do some more exploration of that particular system. I think it's got lots of potential. Goose Green, I'm a TCS whore. What can I say? I love it. It's fabulous. Can't talk more highly about that game than if you are curious about TCS, that's your boy right there. You need to have that in your library. The Guadalcanal, this is another, it's a reboot, a deluxe edition. It's, I think Steven Newberg is the chap that did the work on it. Really good job. The letdown was where the cut on the maps is, but it's a 2-mapper now, right in the middle of all the action. And, things didn't really, I'm a little frustrated with also the victory conditions. I think if we're going to reprint this thing and update it, then we should also be looking at how we fix with the original flaws with the game, which were the victory conditions and where the focus of the battle ends up being. So that was interesting and good and pretty, but a little bit flawed for me. Sorry about that, Roy, but that one didn't work for me. This game just sucked. So moving right along, the Hannibal Italian campaign. I got 2 sessions of the Killing Ground in, Overlord and a Killing Ground scenario. Cannot wait to play the full campaign of that. I'm going to skip the landings and just start on the whatever date the Killing Ground kicks off from. I played 1 landing beach, went through that exercise, enjoyed it. That was enough. I don't need to do all of the beaches. I can tell you that much. Got a lot of, well, I shouldn't say a lot. I got some more modern lock and load in with the Falklands. Fantastic gameplay from them and awesome stuff. Can't complain. Sisu, good grief, just a freaking train wreck. Super expensive, horrible production quality. Horrible, had the wrong charts in the box. The charts from another game. Rules from another game, just a complete shit show. And swearing warning, complete shit show for the guy that designed that. I can't remember what his name is. Let's see, what is his name again? Yeah, Ian Weir. Just terrible, just a terrible game. And the gameplay wasn't even that good either. Just miserable. Okay, play Tribe, the Rhodesian War. That was sent to me by a, oh my gosh, no, I can't remember his name. Shoot, was it Brian Moe that sent that to me? I want to say it was either Brian or Brad. Now I feel bad. And maybe the last name was Patterson. Had a lot of fun with that. Probably a little abstract for me, but enjoyed it. And in fact, I'm passing that on, and we'll be. I did that as a giveaway on Mo's channel. Yes, it was Brian Patterson. Good. Look at me. I've got a memory. How about that? So, look, I've played a bunch of stuff this year. Nowhere near as much as I usually do. Although I did get a little bit deeper on some of these titles, where I played that Counter-Strike scenario 3 times. First one, a couple of turns, did a reset, realized I messed up. Second time played through, third time played through. So got reasonably comfortable with GTS, but I'm still, not there with it. So a lot of games played, but not as many as in the past. I've noticed that either as my lifestyle changes, I'm going to bring, let me just bring me back up onto the screen here. Why not? How do I do that? I've noticed that as I've matured, or not matured, as I've gotten older, I'm still an immature jerk, a notorious jerk, notorious asshole even. I have, it's my capacity to consume new systems is slowing. I certainly have seen that, but because I've gone from 30, 40 odd new game systems, gameplays a year, down to 15 or 20, and I think that's a function both of age and also life stage and what's going on here with, well, this year was just a shit show anyway. So we'll leave it at that. All right, let's do this. Let's stop screen sharing. Whoa, hey now. And let's give away a couple of games because I know 24 of you hung around for this. So District Commander Kandahar. I have the not fantasy, these kind of hypothetical version of this. It's a, what is that one called? It starts with a V. It's set in a Latin American country. And I love that module. This one, I haven't played. I set it up, was going to play it. And then I thought, you know what? I'm just not in the mood to do this. So I didn't. But volume 3. So I am not going to I'm not going to ask questions or all that sort of nonsense. But I I will. Okay. Who designed this game? I just held it up. So if you guys want to pop in who designed District Commander, you can Google it if you have to. And then we'll choose someone from the list. Do it that way. Unless, of course, David Garvin, would you be interested in this game if I was so inclined to send it to you, even though you are in Canada? I would make an exception and ship it to you because you're a good guy. You're welcome to opine on that. If anyone can, you would be, yes. Okay, you know what, David Garvin, this is your game. There you go. Sorry, folks. So let's do the second and final game I'm giving away. Now, this, I have seen this set up. So, David, you need to send me, and by the way, David, thank you for your service, even if you are Canadian. You served in the military, so we appreciate you. bigboardgaming@gmail.com. Send me your address. We'll get that to you. And that was Brian Train was the designer. Now, this game I've seen that I'm going to give away, I've seen set up, and I haven't played it yet. It has an evolving rule book. So, and this is a big, heavy game. I'll be sending it on a slow boat, and you have to be in the United States. I can't think of so it's called 2 Minutes to Midnight. It's basically Twilight Struggle on steroids with shooty bits, right? So it's an actual war game, but it's a strategic, I would call it a strategic level war game. And I would think that it's 1 to 2 players. It's 1 to 7 hours of gameplay time. So look, it's fabulous. It's a beast of a game, as Mo is saying here. Here's the back that you can see. It's kind of got that vibe, Twilight Struggle vibe going on. Lots of bits. So it's super interesting. I'm going to, let's just get an expression of interest by saying, type the word big board. How about that? And that will put you in the running, and then I'll do a random die roll doohickey, and we'll give this away. How's that sound? Does that sound fair? So just type big board in the comments, and you're up for the running, and we'll go from there. So this is 2 Minutes to Midnight. You got to be in the United States, okay? Because I'm not shipping it overseas. Or no, I'm not shipping it overseas. It's just too hard, too expensive. And Greg Warren, you almost got it right. Big board, you talk. Yes, all those. So we have 1, 2. Well, I'm giving you guys a minute to put your commentary in there, and we'll go from there. And here's what's cool about this hat, actually, is that my nephew is going on subs, but he's actually doing fast attack, and I believe that's a boomer. I think so. He will be fast attack subbies. So we're pretty excited about that for him, and he's pretty excited about it as well. All right, Treb is in, Greg Warren's in, Greg S is in, Bill Severn is in, or Seven, depending on how you want to say it, where you're from. Jerry's in, Jason. Hey, Jason, good to see you. And Greg Warren. Oh, Greg Warren got it. There he goes. He must have trouble with my accent. What do you think? And then Doug Sessions is in. So are we good? Is that it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 7. Yeah, Greg Sapara is ridiculous. He has won so many games from me. It's crazy. All right, so I'm going to go just stand by while I find a random die roller, since I have not brought that up. My keyboard goes to sleep. It's so annoying. Always miss the first letter. Random die roll. Let's do the 1. And here, of course, now I've got to get pick a random number between 1 and 7. Let's see. What we really don't want is a die roll. And we want a random numbers generator. Here we go. All right. All right. We're going to pick a random number between 1 and 7. It says go or start. Like, which one do you? I guess I need to. Let me just have a look at this. No, Greg, don't bow out. That's silly. Let's see. Yeah, Boomer's the nuclear missile stuff. He's SSMs. Yeah, and I think this is a Boomer. On the hat. So top to bottom. So coming from, well, starting with Jason going down 7 folks. And I'm going to click the little number now. So do I do go or start? Well, it keeps clicking 7 every time. This doesn't look very good. Let's find another random number generator. Generator. About calculate. Oh, here we go. Random.org. All right. Oh, good grief. All I want. Here we go. 1 to 7. Generate. Son of a bitch. All right. It's 7. Who was the last person? Go down the end here. Was it Trev? Is that you, bud? You the last one? I think you are. Trev Curry. You're the man. Is that the last one? I'm just checking. Let me make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. All right, Trev. 2 minutes to midnight. That's yours. Merry Christmas, and Merry Christmas to David Garvin as well. Similarly, Trev, I think you have my email. So either my personal email or bigboard@gmail.com address. It'll go out next week, at some point after Christmas. So we'll make that happen. And let's see what else. We don't need to talk. We talked a little bit about the house, about what a pain in the ass that is. Oh, by the way, does anyone know? Oh, no. There are some things that I need to get done at this house that I need done on a budget. But since none of you live in Texas, it doesn't really matter. Current gameplay, games played this year. By the way, the Substack, if you're interested, let me. I'm just going to post it here. Would love you guys, if you're interested in narrative stories about gameplay. It's not always just. It's not always paranormal. I do write stories about non-paranormal stuff. In fact, the weight of the stories is all non-paranormal. But anyway, that's the Substack. Please subscribe if you're interested. And if you're watching and you're not a subscriber here, by all means, subscribe to the channel on YouTube. I know there's quite a few people who are watching on Facebook, but we have a YouTube channel, a blog, and the Substack, which is a place to write. It's another version of blog. So Trev, congratulations on that. And let's just call it. Hey, Thomas, good to see you, my friend. Welcome. You're coming in on the tail end there, but it's early where you are. So good to see you. And I'm just going to use that as an opportunity to wrap things up. I appreciate everyone tuning in. I didn't see, wait, before you all go, hang on. You already see the crowds leaving. The games are being given away. Thoughts and comments on gameplay, things you'd like to see on the YouTube channel, things you might like to see me write about, if at all, and stuff. What would make what I'm currently doing more interesting, or what would be more fun for you, or what would be more entertaining, I guess is the way to say it, that I could potentially do, that we'll work out what the production effort might be, and then that'll drive my decision making on all that. So love to hear from you in terms of live play, more designer interviews, gameplay, commentary, all that sort of fun stuff. So already, Doug Sessions, what is my favorite solo game? You know, right now it's the Wars of Marcus Aurelius from Hollandspiel Games. If you like Ancients, it's a great experience. Otherwise, I'd probably be looking at Philippine Sea. That's a great experience. And then Combat is a fantastic skirmish man-on-man solo experience as well. Quite expensive, but a very good system nevertheless. So there are three things I could tell you off the top of my head. Ryan, good to see you. Well, it looks like we might just keep chatting for a few minutes since we've got some folks turning in. Want to hear more about your panel writing as a paranormal investigator on the side, mainly interview. Yeah, so Thomas, the short version is if you go to the Substack, I have been writing about narrative, about gameplay from the long road. So that's the paranormal aspect of that. Interviews are my favorite content. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, and so I funnily enough, I have a hard time just like, I don't reach out to designers unless I've kind of met them before or had some interaction with them, because I don't know, I'm shy like that. But I usually let folks seek me out, or if someone sends me an email, hey, why don't you do this, cover this game or this company or whatever the case may be, I'll get them to introduce me rather than me chasing down folks to try and get their interest up. Right? I'm not begging people to come on the channel, of course, but would love to have any designer that has a game that's a war game and a real war game. Then so no red flags over Paris, but if we have real war games, I'm very interested, and I've also covered non-war games before, but it's going to have to be something real special to be on the channel, because we're war game focused here. All right, so let's see. What is PW2? Expand, please. Don't know. Yeah, Ryan, you missed out, my friend, on the giveaways. I'm sorry, too late. So interviews, I see that. Yeah, looking forward to it too. All right, yeah, I can't wait to get onto that. The First Victory system. I think it's going to be great. All right, what else is going on here? Oh, Pacific War. Yeah, so I have played enough. I would like to get an operational scenario set up, a larger one. It's a space thing here at the moment, so that's not going to happen until I get into the new house. So, okay, that's good to know. I have not played that yet. Jerry, thanks for sharing. Awesome. Yeah, John, it's all good, man. I know what the definition is, and other people can try and change that definition, but it is what it is. So it's all good. That's my channel, so it'll be what I say it is. So there you go. All right, what's this? John Keypoint. But I also really like when you go into detail about a specific good or bad part of the game, like very detailed zoomed in review. Got it. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, and I really enjoy taking the time to look at, hey, specific mechanics and how things work and how they feel to me. And I enjoy doing, kind of overviews of the game strategy and how I think things might play out. Like when you first set a game up, here's what I'm going to do. And then you go do it and realize that was bad. And then you go work out what the next game plan is. Yes, Phil Pinsey from Compass Games, Doug. That would be the one. And okay, dude, we can, campaign scenario. That's some meat. and I don't know how. So we would have to do live play just because of I don't know how we could pass files backwards and forwards by email. So we'd have to talk about that. Substack account is here, Thomas. So let's see who else we got going on here. All right, look, unless folks have got other questions or comments, I would be comfortable with us wrapping up, because I'm sure a resident will be over here any minute looking for me to cook some sort of food for him. And here's a good question here. Missed that one. Oh, thanks, Greg. Yeah, I don't hate these games when I give negative criticism. It's at the moment what I'm playing, what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, and generally speaking, every commentary or impressions video or article I've written, that comment has stood the test of time for me when I've come back to play a game again. And the only exception I would say would be Ardennes 44. When I first played Ardennes 44, I hated it, and I thought the advance anywhere rule was stupid, and I thought that this whole Zoc bomb concept was dumb, and I didn't like it, and I didn't really have a very positive impression of Simonich's system. And it wasn't until I played another module, I think maybe Holland or something like that, that I went, that's interesting. Let me play this more. And we got through a whole campaign of that, and I went back and played Ardennes 44 again and recanted because I now find that to be a fascinating system, and I get what the designer was trying to do. It just took some getting over the hump, right? So but generally speaking, Deathrite Kursk, I have significant issues with that system. The new Wellington's Victory, I have issues with that system, but I'm going back to it, right? I'm going to go back to it and try it again, and we're going to try and get through the gameplay and see how it all hangs together and give things second chance when and if we need to. So I think that's how we should be approaching games. I don't hate on the designer unless they're a jerk, and I certainly don't hate on a design unless it's just really functionally bad from my viewpoint. And keep in mind, it's all my personal opinion based on the gameplay. Playing a game multiple times that's bad doesn't make it any better, right? If you're playing something that's just horrendously wrong, then you stop and you think about it and you write about it and then you move on. That's why I haven't stopped playing Black Horse. There are functional issues with the game but it's all around rules formatting, rule wording, verboseness, and a lack in some ways, lack of clarity, right? But it's a great, solid game, and it deserves to be played, and it will get high marks from me for one of the top games of the year that I've played, despite its flaws. So I think that's all good, right? I think there's good stuff here. Let me see. So John asked what favorite era at the moment. I'm a big Africa fan. At the theater at the moment, I'm a modern warfare junkie, so enjoying anything that comes out from that perspective. I would like to see more smaller battles around the Western Front, World War II. I'd like to see a good operational system developed for Napoleonics. I don't think there really is one yet that is representative of both the operational challenges and the combat. I think Zucker has done an admirable job of trying to capture that, but it could be better. I know that Herman Luttman is working on some Napoleonic stuff, so we'll see what happens with that. And I certainly look at what's going on with the Fate of All from Thin Red Line Games, and I'm thinking, that would be a wonderful Napoleonic system too. So that's got some enormous potential. Hexy, what the heck is up, my man? Saw your chat last night about Bastogne. I got very excited about that. Good to see you guys playing that game. I think you're going to love it. I love your opinion on where to start with modern war games post World War II. I'm not a heavy player, so I'm looking for a place to start which is manageable. Oh, okay. Well, post World War II, if you want to get hypothetical, World War III, I'd encourage you to get Black Horse. It's not a complicated game. Once you get through if you get Moe's play aid, be awesome. I think you can knock that out and enjoy it a lot. If you want tactical, I would go with Lock and Load Tactical, or I would go with what is that other game system? You could also, depends on what you're looking for in terms of scale, mate. But Greg, happy to chat to you on either YouTube comments or send me an email or catch me on Facebook. I'd love to share some ideas and thoughts with you on that stuff. Let's see here. Thomas, of course, I would love to play you, me, Mo, whatever. We're just not going to let you play Fallujah, 6 days of Fallujah with us because you're a solo rolo. Leroy Jenkins. I'm kidding. Okay. Yeah, but that's just a beatdown, dude. That's so super heavy, detailed, tactical. I would agree, Mo. Tiny Battles Publishing, Thomas, you take a look. $55. It's not a bad deal. Art Brochet, the TCS master. Everyone stop and say hello. You're up early, my friend. Hawaii, right? Are you still in Hawaii? Great to see you. Have you played Goose Green yet? Would love to know if you have. Everyone, Art was one of the guys that was very friendly in Seattle and helped me maintain and develop my excitement for not only TCS but BCS and of course OCS as well. He is a long time super friendly wargamer. He is the man, and always has really cool tools and bits and pieces how to track the game and cubes and bits to add flair to his gameplay. So he's awesome. I love Art, I should say. All right. Oh no, it's all true, my friend. All true. You're the man. All right. So Mark Trowbridge, good to see you here too. I was going to try and wrap this up. So if you guys would stop talking, we could. Yes, it is. I would say it and World at War 85, also platoon scale, are two of my favorite systems. So there you go. Let's wrap this bad boy up. You guys are awesome. I've enjoyed hanging out with you. We've been live for just over an hour now, and I'm glad that we could give these games away. And I'm looking forward to the new year and hopefully a little more calmness in my life once I get into the new house, and we'll all get to do some live stream, hang out, and chat, and have a coffee or a whiskey, or a coffee and a whiskey. We can do both those things together at the same time in the afternoon. All right. All the very best. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Peace out.